Andrew Tate has subjected himself to another public humiliation. Every time he appears on a podcast, he just cannot control himself from telling non-stop, humiliating, ridiculous, childish, debasing lies. And before he returned to Bucharest to check in with the police station, he recorded a podcast with Dubai-based influencer Tracy Harmausch, where he dribbled utter garbage for over 2 hours. Before we take a look at the nonsense Tate was spewing, I need to draw our attention to Tracy and put her on blast. Like some others before her, she didn't just interview Tate. She deliberately went out of her way to help him lie and spread propaganda about his ongoing human trafficking cases. She even went as far as to do a promo for Hustle's University, which must surely have been paid for.
Where are you at on the allegations? If you don't want to go into detail, I'd understand. But I know, I read through them. I saw everybody that spoke out.
Yep.
I even saw the people that were part of the allegations, the women that supposedly were the victims, saying, please don't put me in this. I am not a victim.
Yep.
I've watched all of it. So I'm quite shocked that this is happening to you.
Yep.
And I'm sorry. I think that sucks. But it does happen to people of your status.
Yep.
So do you feel like all the false allegations, which all came out to be false against you, was that your fault, or was it, the media trying to get you down? The way the world has functions right now on bad press, bad media, your reputation is more detrimental right now than an actual crime. People want to get you for your reputation and not for a crime.
Correct.
So is that still your fault?
Well, yeah. Was it fair? No. Was it my fault? Yes.
I mean, I have went through multiple comments of people writing underneath some of the things that you teach in your courses. There are some clips pulled out on YouTube. I can't tell you how many young boys' messages I read only saying, you have got me out of my shit. I'm so lucky to be part of this university. I just was able to make so-and-so amount of money. I've read multiple little guys, I don't know how old they are, all saying amazing things. Like, they are really doing really well for themselves because of that. So it's really nice to see that you have that impact.
It is, but it's kind of sad that we live in an empire of lies where the people they say are the good guys are the bad guys, and the people they say are the bad guys are the good guys.
What a pathetic degenerate this lady is. Anyone who participates in this propaganda for Tate really is filth, but it really boggles my mind when we see women do it. There would have to be something seriously broken in their brain for a woman to do this for Tate of all people. As for Tate's performance in this interview, we saw him once again flirt that line between blatant lies and utter delusion. Starting with him describing why he believes people don't like him.
I mean, I'll be honest. If I was 5'5", I wouldn't be hated. It's literally, he's big and he's rich and he has all these cars. The BBC said it to me. You walk around with your Bugatti and your cigar and it's misogynistic. I'm like, what does that even mean? It means that I'm 6'3" and I have a whole bunch of money and a bunch of nice cars, and they just don't. My image as a whole aggravates them. I don't have to talk.
It's moments like this when I think Tate isn't actually lying. I think he's really deluded himself into thinking that people don't like him because he has a Bugatti and smokes cigars. It's really not that complicated, but it comes down to most of society not liking sex traffickers and pedophiles. And both Tate brothers have made countless public statements confessing to what amounts to sex trafficking and preying on underage girls. The next clip speaks to a major contradiction in a lot of Andrew Tate's supporters. They, quite rightly, don't like Jeffrey Epstein, and often remark to those of us who criticize Tate with things like, what about the Epstein list? When their leader shows admiration for Epstein and says that Epstein was a psyop.
I think all these little weak men are dangerous. Weak men are dangerous, not strong men. Imagine a pedo. Is he a good-looking, big, strong, rich man? No. It's some fat.
Sometimes.
Well, you got Epstein, but that was a psyop. That was a psyop.
Yeah.
In his latest appearance on the PBD podcast, Tate seemed to minimize Epstein's crimes by saying that what happened on Epstein's island was merely a result of the monogamy that he says is pushed on people in the West.
But if you're a man who's stuck with a woman and you don't even get along with each other and it's a show marriage and you have to be together and you argue all the time and you're sexually repressed and you're being promised in secret that you can go to an island and finally be pleasured and satisfied, no one's ever going to find out, that's how you end up on the island. So this whole monogamy garbage that's being pushed by the West, especially amongst our elites, is the reason we have the biggest problem with pedophilia. And they don't have this problem in South America because they all have girlfriends. They don't have this problem in Russia because they all have girlfriends. The Thai elites don't have this problem. They all have girlfriends. But here in the West, we're saying, nope, you just stick with your wife, only her, be happy with her.
Some of Tate's old tweets also show his admiration for Jeffrey Epstein, like this tweet in 2020 when he said everyone wants to be friends with the pimp. Doubt me? Epstein had access to pussy. Look at his fucking friends list. The point is that you cannot support Andrew Tate and not support Jeffrey Epstein, or at least be honest about the fact that you would support Jeffrey Epstein if he had big muscles. The next clip really shows how Tate cannot keep up with his own rubbish. The man constantly is contradicting himself. Get a load of Tate talking about Jews. The first clip was only a few months ago on the PBD podcast, and the second clip you'll see was from this recent podcast with Tracy.
You know, this whole Jewish question thing is actually an interesting one. I'm going to talk about this. There's a lot of people online who are fervently anti-Jew and are very anti-Semitic. And I know who these people are. There are people in the world who blame the Jews for absolutely everything. And that is pathetic. And these people think that they worked out the secret of the world and they're based. And they blame Jewish people for everything. They're like, oh, but that's the Jews. Or they'll say, oh, but you can't get a girlfriend because the girls have all been subverted by the media. That's the Jews. To argue that the Jews are the only reason why you're a little bitch hiding in your house at home. That's also bullshit. For the people who are truly fearful of Israel and truly fearful of Jewish influence, you hinder yourselves by not being open to rational conversations, by not being invited on speaking podcasts, by not being open to ideas, because you don't accept that not every single thing on the planet is the Jews. If you want to be reasonable and responsible and have interesting and open conversations, you'll get a lot further. But when you put up this wall of every single thing is Jews, every single thing they've ever done, every single thing, you're just going to destroy destroy your own movement. These feminists don't give a shit about women. Mm-hmm. They are deliberately trying to destroy society. And if you want to find out who these people are, look up who started the feminist movement. I'm not going to say it on the podcast. I'll let everybody do their own research. But then you're going to learn what's really going on.
I need to look at that up.
Look it up.
Too. All of a sudden you had your issue in Florida where everybody attacked you. Everybody came after you. Tell me a little bit about the selective outrage and the double standards.
Yeah, there's a interesting conspiracy theory that there's a particular group of people who control the world, and they control the media, and they control the money, and they control the banking. And if you speak against their interests, you pay the price. It's an interesting conspiracy
weird. I've never heard that.
Yeah, very strange.
What? First time.
Yeah, they were actually on my side. And then, as you said, on October 9th, which was very soon after October 7th, called what Israel was doing a disgusting genocide. And I said it before anyone else did. And primarily they were just saying that I was, the usual things, anti-Semitic, and I was a bad person. And then they tried to attack me because of my history of owning a webcam studio, and they said that I'm bad. I obviously made it clear that OnlyFans donate millions of dollars a year to AIPAC, which AIPAC, of course, are the Israel lobby, which are heavily involved in American politics. And OnlyFans, who's owned by a Jewish man, donates millions of dollars to this day, but they don't care about that. They care about supposedly something I did 15, 16 years ago for some reason. Mm-hmm. Anyway, very strange coincidence, all of this. I said something earlier about who was behind feminism.
Yeah.
Some interesting reading for this whole conspiracy theory. It's not true. It's not true. It's just a conspiracy.
The man is just a bumbling idiot. He will say whatever he thinks sounds cool in any given moment, but he doesn't have the brain power to form an actual opinion. This next clip is a perfect example of him just saying shit that he thinks sounds good, while having a complete inability to think about what he is saying. Andrew Tate, of all people, speaks up about scams and crypto rug pulls.
But I would say that there is a karmic retribution in the universe. And if you take dirty money, you're going to pay the price for it one way or another. I think if you scam somebody, you pay the price for that. I think if you rug pull crypto coins, you pay the price for that. I mean, I could rake in $300 million in a week if I want to scam people. I won't do it because I believe that you'll pay the price for that. And I'm not talking about pay the price legally. I'm talking about paying the price cosmically. universally. I think things all balance out in the end.
Just stunning. In my opinion, it is fair to say that Andrew Tate is the most prolific scammer and rug puller on the internet today. For anyone that's interested at this point, I have a full playlist of videos exposing Andrew Tate's scams, from crypto to staged fake car lotteries, to the Tates promising their child audience an AI planet that would give them all generational wealth and delivering nothing. He's able to repeatedly scam his fans over and over, with a section of them coming back for more every time, due to what I believe is genuinely a cult leader relationship. Tate got into another topic with Tracy that I've been covering since I started my channel. His fake university, The Real World, what he now calls Hustlers University. Tate made a claim about what happened after he bought the domain university.com that was just absurd.
When we were called The Real World, things were okay. Once I bought university.com, I, within a week, had 4 tax investigations in 3 different countries. We were DDoS attacked massively. Our payment processor was removed. 2 of my email accounts were hacked, and Pegasus was put on my phone.
What?
When I bought university.com.
Tate claims that he got a bunch of tax investigations after he bought the domain university.com. I think it might have had more to do with the fact that he, I don't know, never paid taxes. When the UK authorities seized millions in the Tate's unpaid taxes, they said that they haven't paid a penny in taxes in any jurisdiction since 2013. And Tate himself has been open and proud about this.
But when I lived in England, I refused to pay tax. It was 40%. So they started sending me letters and threatening me. Do you know what you do? You know what most people would do? Reply to the letter, get a clever accountant. Guess what I did? Ignore the letters. Ignore. Then they start sending people around to my house. Where's Andrew? Oh, he's not here. Ignore. There becomes a point where there's a cost-benefit analysis where they sit down and go, we don't know where this guy is. We don't even know how much money he has. We don't know if he's going to pay. He might have left the country. This is a waste of our time. And they give up because everyone's a coward and fills in the form. I don't fill in forms. No, you want my money? Come get it. Come get it.
Next, Tate talks about a negative story that was written about The Real World. Have a listen to what he says, and wait until I show you what he is actually talking about.
They can't really call it a scam. So what they say is that the ideas I teach inside are dangerous. And the BBC actually ran an article saying that my school was homophobic. So someone went in the main chat room, and they said, I want to unsubscribe. This is too hard. And people started replying rainbows. And then I'm online in the school myself too. And I thought, this is funny. So I put a rainbow.
Oh my God, no way.
Anyway.
And that's why they said it's homophobic.
And then the BBC, that guy made a screenshot and they sent it to the BBC. And the BBC ran this huge article that I have this misogynistic super school, which is training children to hate gay people. And it's a scam and keeping them away from traditional university, which definitely works. And the degrees aren't a scam, but my school's a scam. And it's complete psyop garbage. I've seen hundreds of thousands of positive comments, but the BBC will not say a single nice word about my school. In fact, they're just going to wait for once a year for there to be an opportunity like the rainbows to run double page spreads and put me all over the news that I'm a terrible, evil person who is behind everything bad that has ever happened anywhere ever.
What you just heard was Andrew Tate coping, trying to convince himself that the story about rainbow flags in his chat came because his members were spamming the emojis after someone said they were cancelling their subscription because it was too hard. The reality is this came from this story by the Daily Dot, not the BBC, about Andrew Tate's The Real World being hacked, with hackers leaking chat logs and data on 800,000 users, including over 325,000 users' email addresses. The hackers described the platform as hilariously insecure, and the hackers changed all of the emoji choices to a series of pride flags and letters spelling out Andrew Tate loves kissing femboys. What you heard in that previous clip was Andrew's fragile little ego trying to rewrite that story. But I'm glad he brought this up so that I can remind anyone who happens to be watching who is a member of Andrew Tate's The Real World that your data is not safe. To close out the section of Andrew talking about his fake university, he regurgitated one of his favourite reoccurring lies.
When I say to them there's an alternative to mainstream education, it costs $50 a month and I'll teach you how to make money online, and we have 130,000 students, that becomes a massive problem for the Matrix by and large. So they try and attack my school all the time.
This is just beyond sad at this point. They are still trying to claim that their membership numbers are in the hundreds of thousands. My research, I believe, has conclusively showed that their numbers have massively dwindled and the real world is a ghost town. To give you an example, I'll show you a post from the Tate's cousin Luke. Luke is essentially the leader of the real world. He runs the platform for them. Here is a post from Luke in the platform, instructing the students to produce videos about a particular topic. Look at the engagement on this post. Does that look like the engagement of hundreds of thousands of users reacting to a post from the leader of a platform? I think not. To finish up the video, of course, Tate told some ridiculous lies about his various cases that have to be addressed.
Anybody who's a good guy gets hit with these sexual assault allegations, but the Romanians have now admitted they made it up. They said, we made it up so you can go now. Sorry. The British Foreign Office told us to make it up because you're a big problem on the internet. Their job is to try and take my power away and diminish my power. Of course, this won't work for long. Eventually, people are going to say, we don't care what he's accused of. He's never been convicted. And the Romanians let him go. So who gives a shit? And then we're going to work together. So,
firstly, the idea that the Romanians said we made it up is ridiculous. And there's not much I can say about it, except that the burden of proof for that one is on you. Tatatots, I dare you to provide proof that the Romanian court said this. Good luck. As for this fantasy that the Romanians let him go, this seems to be another spin on the Tate's classic case-dismissed lie. Of course, in the past week, the Tate's cases in Romania were proven to be still ongoing when the Tates travelled back to Bucharest to check into the police station to ensure that they cooperate with their judiciary control measures. This blatantly exposed them as pathetic liars. Tate also had an embarrassing comment about his criminal case in the UK.
England now has some British case against me. They're saying in 2008, I assaulted somebody. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. It doesn't even say. On the arrest warrant, it says 2008 assault. That's it. No time, no place, no person, no when, no where. Imagine I told you 15 years ago you assaulted someone. Defend yourself.
Like, did I?
No, well, you're like, who, where,
Exactly.
when, what?
But you know what
You don't even have a clue what they're talking about.
This is just pathetic. Andrew is lying about easily verifiable facts in a desperate attempt to minimize his legal troubles to his fans. The extradition of both Tate brothers to the UK, which is approved to go into effect after the Romanian legal proceedings, is not them saying in 2008 Andrew assaulted somebody. It is for a series of alleged crimes including human trafficking and rape, which took place between 2012 and 2015. Even the Tate's own legal representatives have confirmed this. And here is Andrew pathetically lying, like a little child. To any young lads watching this who might follow the Tate brothers, you need to understand that real men tell the truth. The Tates are not even men, let alone alpha males. Make no mistake about it, I will not be intimidated or silenced by these pathetic little children. And for those that aren't aware, that is exactly what the Tate brothers are trying to do. They filed a ridiculous, frivolous lawsuit against myself and a number of other individuals. A number of us in the lawsuit are crowdfunding a defense. Thank you to everyone who has supported so far and helped us reach $10,000 in the first week. I'll leave the link in the description and the pinned comment for anyone who wants to support us in standing up to these self-confessed sex trafficking child predators.